Hey folks, I hope you're all well and staying safe. So, you've ordered the Oculus Quest 2, and now you're wondering which games you should get first. Well, have no fear, WaqMan is here. We are going to go through which games you should buy first for the Oculus Quest 2 for someone new to VR. These are also Quest 1 games, so don't worry if you have the original Quest. And if you enjoy the video, then please give it a thumbs up and share if you can, as it lets me know to make more of this type of content. Also subscribe to the channel for everything VR related. And we will be announcing the winner of the giveaway for Creed Rise to Glory and the secret Oculus Quest game later in this video. Not only that, WaqMan would like to give a special announcement. If we can get to 15,000 subscribers by WaqMan, also known as Christmas, I will be giving away an Oculus Quest 2 headset to one of my subscribers. So the sooner we get there, the sooner you will be able to win. All these giveaways are from my own pocket, so I do need your support. To enter the giveaway, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and then follow the instructions in the description below. Now let's get straight into the video. First thing I want to mention is that these are all paid games, but I suggest you go and download all of the free games in my top 10 free Quest 2 games video first. If you haven't already seen it, then click the link above or check the description below. Now, because you may be new to VR, some games might be a little intense in regards to motion sickness. So the list is in order of intensity, going from the easiest for new players to the most intense due to the movement. Number 1. Acorn, Attack of the Squirrels. Okay, so the reason I have picked this game first is because I know you will be super excited about getting your Quest 2. However, the rest of your family might be feeling left out. But Acorn Attack of the Squirrels is the perfect game to include your family in the fun. You as the VR player will be playing as a tree trying to defend your nuts, whereas your friends or family will be playing on their mobile phones as the squirrels trying to steal the acorns. The squirrels will be able to use different power-ups, and the tree will be able to throw acorn bombs and grab the squirrels if they get too close. Not only that, you are also able to play with any of your friends even if they aren't in the same house. Perfect for this day and age. I think this family-friendly game will be fantastic to get as one of your first VR games on your new Quest 2. Number 2. Beat Saber. This seems to be the game that everybody loves because of its simplicity and pure enjoyment. I can't believe it has survived this long, but that's mainly due to the new songs that keep getting added, as well as new modes such as the 360 degrees mode on the Quest 2, which completely changes how you play. Not only that, Beat Saber multiplayer will also be launching at the same time as the Quest 2. Another reason why this game is still on my list is because of the custom songs, although they still do need to be sideloaded. However, the choice of songs you can find online is huge. The game is so easy to pick up and play that anyone can get into it, but so difficult to master that you will need to spend time and energy to actually get good. Plus, you will lose so much weight since it's an intense workout. It is fantastic for one of your first games, since there is no movement, meaning no motion sickness. Number 3. Moss. In Moss, you are a spirit of sorts and are there to help the protagonist of the story, Quill, who is a little mouse. You will be known as the Reader, probably because you are reading the tale of Quill. This is further emphasized during the game's story moments, as you will appear back in the library and flip the pages as the short story segments unfold. At the end of each story segment, you'll flip over a page and then get sucked back into Quill's world. Moss is a platformer with a lot of puzzles that you will need to interact with, but there is also about 50% action where you will have Quill fight like a little ninja mouse. This is a great story experience as well, and is the perfect bridge from flat screen gaming to VR. To be honest, you cannot appreciate the game until you play it. Number 4. Richie's Plank Experience. This game is great when you want to show people VR for the first time, and you need a good laugh. The only movement you have is when you walk yourself, so there isn't really a chance of motion sickness. The game is fantastic to have people fear for their lives when walking over the small plank on top of a skyscraper. The graphics are really good and it makes it feel real. There have been other modes where you need to go to the end of the plank and pick up an item, but there's a surprise waiting for you when you do. Since there is nothing tethering you on the Quest 2, the immersion and fear that you experience is incredible, which is why it's one of the first games that I recommend you get, as it will justify why you bought the Quest 2 in the first place. Even though it is a short experience, it may be one of the best to show VR to new people. Just make sure you record them. The next 2 games are both boxing games, so you can choose whichever one looks better to you. Number 5. Creed Rise to Glory. Walk in the footsteps of Adonis Creed and become the world heavyweight champion through the short story. Creed Rise to Glory has full PvP support. However, the only issue I personally have with the game is that it has artificial stamina, meaning you can't just spam punches, you actually have to dodge and block effectively. Plus, you will have an out-of-body experience, similar to Doctor Strange, where you get knocked down and have to run back into your body. which makes you a lot more tired than actually fighting. Although what is great about the game is that you can choose from any iconic character ranging from Rocky, Drago, Clubberlang and many more. I pity the fool that doesn't want to play this game. Creed Rise to Glory is a fantastic Hollywoodized boxing game in VR that will be a fantastic workout while having a lot of fun. Number 6. The Thrill of the Fight. Unlike Creed, the Thrill of the Fight is a realistic boxing game that gives you a workout like you've never felt before. You have to throw real punches to have any chance of damaging the enemy. Unlike in Creed, in this game you don't have artificial stamina, so you can keep throwing. But the baby punches won't do any damage. To be able to hurt your opponent, you actually have to counter, go to the body and go through the opponent's guard. There is visual damage that can be seen on the face and body when you damage the opponent. By default, there are 3 3-minute rounds, but after the first round you will be begging for the fight to finish. There are different levels of opponents that you can progress through, plus difficulty levels that you will be able to customize. To be honest, this is one of my favorite workout games and is fantastic for beginners in VR. If you're enjoying the video so far, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 7. Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted. Talk about a hostile work environment. With this game, you are able to experience the scariest night of your life in VR. If you don't know, in Five Nights at Freddy's, you are a caretaker at something similar to Chuck E. Cheese restaurant. However, the animatronics in this establishment come alive after midnight and come for you, so you need to survive until 6 AM. The tension and fear this game gives is unbelievable. Even though you know the jump scares are coming, which actually makes it worse, because you don't know exactly when they're coming. This is the full-fledged game but played wirelessly, which adds to the immersion and fright, since nothing will pull you out of the virtual reality. Also, because there is no movement other than you turning around yourself, there is generally no chance of getting motion sick. So Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted is a must-have game for any VR horror fan. Number 8. Superhot VR. The original Matrix game. Superhot basically gives you super speed like you're the Flash or Superman. However, it may not seem it from the outset, but it's basically a puzzle game where you have to get past the levels by using everything around you as a weapon. If you run out of things to throw or shoot, then you do have your trusty fists of steel. Now the visuals of the game are quite unique. I'm not sure if I personally like them, as they feel really minimalistic and are just polygon characters, but it's the gameplay that's actually the star. The game, especially on the Quest 2, feels amazing since there is nothing holding you back. You would literally move your body to get out of the way from incoming fire. However, when you move, so does everything else. So the challenge is in making sure when you decide to move, you make it count. This seems easier than it actually is. The more you play it, the more fun you start having and the more you get into the game. This is a great game for those that get motion sickness, since you will be the one moving if you want your character to move. So there is little chance of motion sickness. Number 9. Vader Immortal.
Join the dark side with Vader Immortal.
This is an episodic game that comes in 3 parts. Vader Immortal is absolutely gorgeous, as it should be. But the main reason you will want this series is for the story, and how it makes you feel like you are a vital part in it. It is a unique and interesting story where you are the apprentice of Darth Vader, who will teach you the ways of the dark side. So fulfill your dreams of using a lightsaber and taking down enemies left, right and center. The enemies actually feel like a challenge when fighting, which adds to the excitement of the game. In the second episode, you even get to use the force pull and force push abilities, which feels amazing. Although I would have preferred access to this ability from the first game, considering these are only short experiences. The main drawback to the game is that the story is very short. You will finish the first part in an hour, and the second part around 30 minutes, and the final part in around 40 minutes. This is extremely short, but you are able to continue playing in the dojo, which basically has you fighting against enemies as a wave shooter, with different enemies in each chapter. The price of each episode is $10 or £8 each. That's a total of $30 or £24. To be honest, the reason this game is on the recommended list despite its short story and episodic nature is because of how epic you feel when playing it. If you love Star Wars, then I believe you will love this game. Number 10. In Death Unchained. This is a roguelite action game where basically if you die you have to start from the beginning. However, you do get to keep your upgrades and unlocks that will carry over to your next run. So there is still progression. Not only that, every time you start the game, the level is procedurally generated, meaning it will always feel new. Plus, the game will adapt to your level and experience and will keep getting harder, so it doesn't get stale. Although the game can get quite difficult, so you always need to be alert and keep on your toes. You're able to use a bow and arrow, with elemental arrows such as ice arrows to freeze your enemies or even a crossbow to take them down fast. And because this is on the Quest 2, you aren't going to get tangled on any wires when shooting different targets, as it truly is unchained. Number 11. Until You Fall. This is another game that will have you sweating like your gran at bingo. Until You Fall is a fantasy sword playing game with a story. The story isn't award winning, but enough to keep you going. It's the gameplay where Until You Fall shines. And on the Quest 2, it's a lot of fun. Not only that, there are strategic elements that you will need to apply when playing the game, as you will need to choose between either refilling your health or upgrading your weapons and abilities while progressing. This makes you think, can I make it to the end of the level with the health that I have? This is a roguelite, so when you die you actually have to start again, but you do get to keep your upgrades. The graphics in the game are gorgeous with neon lighting and the music is very fitting. There are also awesome boss battles and combos you can use to take down your enemies quickly. Until You Fall is a fun and fast-paced sword action game that will really show you how much fun you can have in your Quest 2. Number 12. Pistol Whip. Become John Wick in Pistol Whip. It even has a level for it. This rhythm shooting game attempts to be a hybrid of Superhot and Beat Saber, where you kill enemies to the beat of the music. Although that being said, it's not a requirement to do it to the beat like in Beat Saber. But if you care about the score at all, you might want to keep to the beat. This game does make you feel like John Wick in the nightclub scene from the second movie. You stand in one place whilst the scene moves towards you. This can feel a little jarring if you haven't got your VR legs though. Additionally, because of the extremely fast pace and the surprisingly large amount of head movement required to dodge the slow moving bullets, it can also be a nice workout. The graphics are of polygon in nature like in Superhot, but because of the fast paced gameplay you don't really notice it. There isn't a story, but has several scenes to play as the developers have been hard at work to release new content, including a John Wick inspired pistol collection. There is also an auto aim feature making you feel like you have super aim and can't miss, but if you want to go old school you can't turn this feature off. Number 13. Lies Beneath. This is one of the best games available on the Quest 2 right now. Lies Beneath is a survival horror comic book style game with a lot of action. The visuals in the game are incredible and very unique, as it is the perfect style on the Quest and Quest 2 that doesn't take too much resource. There are interesting and difficult puzzles to solve as well as searching for loot. Although, this is more of a linear game, going for around 5 to 7 hours depending on how you play. The story is really intriguing and awesome to play through. Lies Beneath is just a must-have game. It's not a traditional jump scare type of horror game where you are helpless. Here you have weapons to defend yourself, and you do defend yourself quite well. So if that's the only reason you didn't want to get it, I would still give it a go. Otherwise you're missing out something really special. Now, you've got this far in the video, so you must be enjoying it, or you like torturing yourself. Either way, why not give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and share with a friend. Okay, so these final games are a little bit more intense, so get these after you have spent some time in VR or at least take regular water breaks if you're playing them. Number 14. Population 1. Alright, so this may or may not have released depending on when you're watching this video. The release date is the 23rd of October, so not long left now. Population 1 is a Fortnite-esque battle royale game in VR. I have been involved in the beta test and I'm telling you, for someone who doesn't care for battle royale genres that much, I love this game. It's just so much fun. You get to glide from any height. You collect different weapons and armor similar to other battle royale games. You can also climb anything you see. And to be honest, I have tried climbing in a lot of VR games, but this was the best implementation I have seen, as you can be as fast as you want, and sometimes you really need to be. Not only that, while gaining experience, you will unlock new skins, including player skins as well as weapon skins, which is a great touch, and gives you a reason to carry on playing. The game is played with a group of 3 people. Don't worry, you get assigned the group if, like me, you don't have friends to join with. Although, you do really need to work with your team, as this is a great team game. Your teammates can revive you and give you items. To be honest, united you will stand, and divided you will fall. This is one I highly recommend you get. Before we get to our last 3 games, I would like to announce the winner of Creed Rise to Glory is... And the winner of the Oculus Quest 2 game is... Congratulations both of you. Please contact me on my Discord to claim your prize. Number 15. Phantom Covert Ops. Now, normally in VR, and especially on the Quest, you don't get to play many games sitting down. And sometimes you want to basically have a seat and just enjoy a VR game without constantly needing to bend over to pick up things. Well, the team at Endreams has you covered with Phantom Covert Ops. Although, I have to be honest, when I first heard of this game and that you will be in a kayak throughout the whole game, I was very skeptical. However, this game is extremely polished and well designed. The developers have done a great job on it. It can also be a bit of a workout for your arms while paddling. Talking about paddling, it's all fully in your control of how fast you want to go and how you take your sharp turns. But the best part of the game is the stealth and the shooting mechanics. It is basically like playing Splinter Cell in a kayak. The developers have also updated the game to add even more modes such as a time trial. But it is a great game to pick up and play, although maybe one later in your VR journey. Number 16. Onward. one of the most anticipated games on the Quest platform. But in case you didn't know, Onward is a PvP and PvE multiplayer shooter where you can go up against other players, or better yet team up with them to take down a small army of bots. This is a lot of fun to do and can show great teamwork. This is a slow paced tactical game where you need to make sure you plan your attack and not just rush in. This is the most realistic PvP shooter on VR right now. The fact that the Quest 2 doesn't have any wires tethering you makes you feel so free, especially when you need to look around quickly. The best thing about this port is that you will be able to play with the PC players, meaning that the player count will be massive. I've linked my review of Onward in the description if you want more information about it. So, last but not least, number 17, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Okay, so this game is one of the best VR games out there, even if you have never watched The Walking Dead, which I haven't. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is a fantastic game with a great story and the choice elements within it, as you can choose how things will pan out, be good or bad, similar to the Fallout games. Plus, there are great side missions, where you may not even realize that it's a side mission because it's so well integrated. Although at times you have to be careful not to go too crazy with the bad, since you are definitely nowhere near overpowered in this game, so you can easily get killed by the other humans or even a large enough zombie horde. Speaking of killing, the zombies are so much fun to kill. When the knife gets stuck in their head, it's just epic and gruesome. I don't want to spoil too much of the game, but it's one I highly recommend. Well, that's all folks. Here are my top 17 Oculus 2 and 1 games you should buy first for a fantastic VR experience. If you enjoyed the video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you enter the Quest 2 giveaway by being a subscriber, liking the video and following the instructions below. Well, thanks for watching, have a great day, stay safe and see you next time.